Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to use the Smart Notebook software. Now this isn't actually going up and physically using the board, this is the software you use to create lessons that you can use on the board. Now I designed this training originally to do face-to-face, so I would have people follow along with what I'm doing, or I'd be able to pause and get them to do little tasks. Obviously this is just a video for those that couldn't make it or want to rewatch, so you can pause this video at any time. So I'm going to show you how to use the software, and we're going to start a real basic thing using the gallery. So when you're inside your notebook software, the gallery image is on the left, and you'll see that actually there's loads that that it provides you. So it gives you lots and lots of different pictures, interactive multimedia, notebook files and pages, background. So for example, you might go in here and realize that you want to have this one cup. You'll see a lot of the stuff that's in here can be quite primary school focused, but you might want to use a map or something. Those could both be fantastic. You may also want to use some of the backgrounds. So again, you'll see when you go into backgrounds that a lot of them are kind of babyish because, again, a lot of people use this in primary school. But if you scroll down, you'll see there's lots of different graph paper that you can use in math, science classes, musical notation paper, etc. I'm going to go for kind of in between primary and secondary with this lovely sun. So going back to my training, we're going to now look at all the features on the toolbar. So the first thing is adding a page. So actually that's really useful because I don't want to have every single page as the sun. So I'm going to just click add, and I'm going to have my second page there. So let's go back. The next thing is going to be drawing tables. If I want to have a table on there, again, very easy. This button up here, and I select how big I want my table to be, and it inserts it for me there. I can then drag it around. I can type in these boxes. I can add images. I can use it however I want. Let me delete that. The next feature I'm going to show you is using the screen to show and hide what's on the page. So you might have a page with all your answers. You can completely cover it up. You can also then reveal certain parts. I've used this for an exercise where we looked at a famous painting and we didn't want to show the whole bit at first, so I had the painting hidden behind, and then we just very quickly cover this up. You may also have students study something on the page and then cover it and uncover it very quickly, or you may wish to not have the page showing at the beginning of the class, and you can put different slides with it hidden and with it not hidden. So the next feature is the measuring tools. So if you go up here, and you'll see it's obviously going to be this logo, you can add a variety of measuring tools. When they're there, you can then manipulate them and it will give you the numbers. You can rotate. So if you're measuring a photograph that you already had, these are going to be very useful as well. So let me add another page. Let's go back to our next feature. So capturing video, capturing, photographing, or videoing. So when you click on this camera one, I can go and photograph part of the page, save on my desktop or import it. I can also do the whole page, I can do part of the page, and what's nice is you can actually go keep this open and open your browser and do the same thing. It doesn't have to be you capturing your notebook, so then you can import that into there. So maybe you've been looking at a website and you want to work a little bit more with some information from the website, this will be useful to do. The video really is just opening QuickTime, so it lets you to record the screen so you can record what's happening for looking at later. Now I'm going to skip some of these because I need to update my license, but I will show you the next thing, which I think is on my list, is Smart Exchange. So Notebook had some big changes last year, a lot of big updates, and Smart Exchange is relatively new. It's a place where you can share and find lesson plans, and as it's new, the more content you add, the more content you'll be able to find. So if we click on that, you can go in and you can search for different grades or different topics. Now, one of the weaknesses with this is that often people really want everyone to see their resource, and so they will have this Connect 4 and they will tag it as art, design, they tag it as everything, and then it shows up, and it can be super, super annoying. Things like Connect 4 or Jeopardy, you can always download and adapt as well. So it's worth having a look through there for things that other teachers are producing. So the next thing is all the different pens, which is definitely, for me, I think the funnest part. You're going to click over here and you have a variety of pens. One of the things is when you've inserted an image, sometimes you forget that you're set on pen. So if you need to go over back to the cursor to move things around, that's the cursor button there. So we have the initial pen, just normal. We have a calligraphy pen, which look how much nicer that looks. We then have a crayon, so you can look at this. It looks just like a crayon. Again, that's probably more primary school. We have a highlighter pen for you to highlight certain pieces of text. We also have the text pen. So what's nice about this is I can write A, B, C. Then when I go on to the next one, it should ask me if it's ABC. Now you have to have really neat handwriting for this to work. It doesn't always work. Creative pen is kind of silly. You can see there's a whole range of features here. If you wanted to use a smiley face pen, for example, you could. The next type of pen is the paintbrush pen, which again, super easy to use, quite pretty. The magic pen, which lets you highlight a certain section and focus. If you only want students to look at part of an image or part of the text, you can do that. And lastly, the shape recognition pen. So if I draw a circle, it should kind of know it's a circle. If I draw a square, it will turn it into a square for me. So that might be very useful. The next tool that we're going to look at is going to be just the other bits and bobs very quickly. And those are all the other things up here. So drawing shapes, drawing different shapes with different sides on them, drawing arrows. You can see all the different features here. Rubbing things out, which is really only works for text or pen stuff. It doesn't work, as you can see, for these other images. And filling things. So if I wanted to fill things with different colours. Again, if you used MS Paint as a child, you probably know how to use those. So let's add another page, and I'm going to show you another cool feature. It is the right-clicking objects to find more features. So let's go back in and add an image. Not a background image, but one of the pictures. Let's say that we had the number 3, and we want something to happen every single time somebody clicks that on the screen. So I'm going to do, back to cursor, right click, and I'm going to do properties. I'm going to do object animation. So I'm going to have flip, I'm going to have shrink and grow whenever the object is clicked. So when a student comes up and clicks it, you're going to see it shrink and grow. You may have also seen when I did properties, I have sound. So I can have a sound linked. Maybe I want to have like a kind of sound if they click the wrong answer on my screen, or a ding 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 if they do the right one. So there's all different stuff that you can do in there. So the next cool little thing to do, I think this is probably the neatest thing, is hiding answers off the page. So or hiding more information off the page. So I'm going to show you how that looks. If I go back here and add a page, I'm going to add an image with a tab. So I'm going to search in this bar up here. And maybe I'm going to have my answer come from up here. So I'm going to have some text to say, oh, I hate it doesn't let me text. More information, more info. I could even have a picture up there, and maybe instead of just saying pull, I'm going to have this as A. So I've got my more information and it's saying A, but at the moment these things are all separate. I'm going to drag, and you'll see everything should be highlighted. I wonder why these things are not all highlighting together. Oh, do you know why I need to be in that cursor? Like I said, that can be a common problem. Okay, so I've grabbed them all on the cursor. They're all highlighted. I'm going to right click and do group and then group them together. And so now when I move, everything moves. So maybe I can move that up here so they can't see. Maybe I'd have a few. I'd have pull A, B, C, and maybe a question on the screen. And when the student pulls it down, they're going to find out more information, or maybe it will say right or wrong, or maybe it will say give them a next instruction to do. It kind of makes it more interactive, and so your students will come up on the screen, up to the screen, and get to play with it as well. I think that's a really good way to gamify it. At the moment, when I click that, it's not giving me the access to these games that are already game templates created for slightly more challenging games, games that kind of have little characters running on the screen, but I need to update my subscription. However, I think this is really good, especially as you can add a lot of content on that tab. So hopefully that showed you some of the basics, and that's a great way to get started using Notebook. Please let me know if you have any questions or if you want to explore more resources within Notebook.